So, Kimiko, you ready, sis? How you doing?
I am ready. Let's do this.
Hey, all right. So, Kimiko, again, when I first got started in this journey, it was a part of network marketing, MLM space. And I'm okay with MLM space because my grandma, I never seen her get up and go to work, but she had a lot of money. And she used to have them parties in the living room, Avon and Mary Kay, right? And she always drove a Cadillac. So, me as a kid, I just saw her in the living room and go to the bank, so I definitely, respect that market because our family ate off of it, so, and I seen what it did for her. She worked from home way, way back then, so I'm definitely seeing how she had freedom within. And so that's what inspired me. And then when I got into the space, I told Kimiko, hey, you got to learn this, and I don't even remember now how I came across you because, I know her through refereeing, and she could tell you because she probably remembers, but I just know that she hopped in and she's been rocking with me since day one now. Here we are 2 years later, we ref together, but she didn't tell me that she was trading crypto, guys. And she didn't tell me. And then next thing you know, she's like, yeah, she had like over $300,000, not to share her business, but, she had like over like 300 some $1,000 on her crypto.com card. I'm like, what? I'm like, we've been trading for like a year. Like, who are you? And what are you doing over there? And not telling me, So with that, ever since then, I've been learning the technical part of the markets. Kimmy is great in the fundamentals. That's why I told her, once her and David locked in, I was just like, okay, I feel safe because I definitely, her as a friend, I definitely trust her. David, I met him and trust him now too. But I know having her here, she might look at some things and be like, I don't know, and so definitely when she's like, yeah, David's like, yeah, I think we're in a good space and we have great leadership and, people to follow. So I'm gonna let Kimiko take the table away. Some of the slides, I'm gonna work with it. Okay.
No,
it's a little different on Telegram.
it's okay.
But, other than that, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for rocking these last few years. Take it away, man. Give these people some gems, sister.
All right, here we go. So let's review that really quickly. It really is about who you know, and it's always going to be about relationships. And at the end of the day, I did. So Deanna and I met after a tournament at LA Valley College. And then we went to dinner with everybody and we're just talking mess to each other. Then she Facebook friended me and whatnot. Whatever. It goes quiet because 2020 happened. Then in July, I get this ping on my messenger and she's like, hey, I got an opportunity for you. I'm like, oh boy. But I really liked Deanna from dinner. So I was like, all right, I'll call her back. And so I told Ishraq, I'm going to call this girl back because I'm pretty sure she's got an MLM. I'm pretty sure I'm going to say no. But something happened. Something happened and I decided to say yes. So we started in our journey with Forex. If you don't know what Forex is, it's called foreign exchange. It's about moving currency, actual worldwide currency. The yen versus the British pound, the dollar versus the Australian dollar, gold. We won't talk about gold. There's a running joke with me. I got addicted to gold, but she moves too fast for me. So gold is a bit fickle for me. But at the end of the day, Deanna's right. I'm terrible. I'm telling you guys right now, I'm absolutely terrible at studying charts. I can read them. Don't get it twisted. I can't call out things like Deanna and Tawana can. I cannot. I can't tell you how many pips is going to go up or how far it's going to dip down. What I can tell you is that I can look at a chart and I confirm this with my thought. I can read a chart. I can see where it goes because my fundamentals in this space, in the crypto space, is very strong. And so we were on a call with David, I think a couple of weeks ago, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. And he said, oh yeah, Bitcoin's going to be, I know it's going to be a bull market when Bitcoin, and he didn't finish his sentence. I was on mute and I said, when Bitcoin crosses the path of 41,000 and then stays above 44,000 for X amount of time. And then right after that, that's what I said out loud. That's what I wrote down. And then David said, yeah, when it crosses between 46 and 48,000, and then if it stays above 43,000, we're looking at having a bull market. And so I got a little bit, from an $8 million guy, I kind of got a little bit of a confirmation that I can read, I can understand charts, but that's because of how much time I spend in the space. Now, my part today is really going to be about talking about how investing and the commitment that you actually need to have to move yourself forward with the type of results that you want. And this is a space for people who are interested but have absolutely no commitment, interested and have a little bit of commitment, interested and have a lot of commitment. And yes, your results are going to vary based on how much time you put in. Okay. So, right now, the reason why I actually am in the crypto kingdom is because, like I said, I felt very strongly that David was honest. Most people will tell you to join a program, and the people who tell you to join a program don't even understand that it is an MLM. New money pays old money, and it just depends when you get into, or when you get into the project. This is very different from Deanna's grandmother and Mary Kay and Avon. With those things, you actually get a product. You really have to understand that is product driven. When you're now talking about trading bots or crypto programs and whatnot, if you don't do your research and you don't know where you are on the pyramid and you don't like talking to people, don't buy it. Just don't do it. Because at the end of the day, all you're going to do is create an experience for yourself that will not yield you what you want. But like I said, because David was really honest about that, the issue for me then was this dude laid it out straight away. And because there will be a product attached to the scenario that he's giving forth, I immediately sent my funds over. So I am an investor in the Kong Matrix system. So that's, I need to disclose that. And I'm going to, every coin that I talk about with you guys in the next 20 minutes or so, I own, I have researched, I've done the research. I'm all about it. The thing that I needed to level up, and this is something that people don't really recognize, is that it's how to be in the moment and how to take profits. If you don't take profits, the only thing you ever have is a story. So Deanna was talking about my $300,000 account. I have watched that account go all the way down to 92,000. I have watched it go all the way back up to 350. And it's not fun. You have to have the stomach for this. But one of the things that I learned was that I was not doing a good job of taking profits. The crypto world is not like stocks. Stocks have a different curve and rebound system. When stocks drop 50%, there is an absolute call or pressure to sell. But if you're young enough and there's enough time and the company is strong enough, okay, within 20 years, you'll make all the 50% back and then some. And so that's a different mindset. In the crypto world, every single day, some new guy or new girl, in millennial all the way up to my generation, are coming up with better ways to onboard and offboard people and their coins and their wealth. I don't want to say money because money is going to be archaic pretty soon. But the idea about that is that you need to be what's called temporal. You're not doing an eternity thing with a lot of these coins. You're being temporal. Temporal means that you need to understand what you got in at and where you're going to get out at. This is important because if you don't have a trading plan, you can just plan to lose. Let me repeat that. If you don't create a trading plan and are intimately involved with when you get in and when you get out with crypto, I'm talking about crypto coins that are not Bitcoin or Ethereum. Okay. Every other coin on the market has a temporal existence and it can shoot up 1,000% and it can go down all the way towards zero. In fact, skimming zero this close, and then it can have a rebound again. But if you don't have a trading plan of when you're going to exit, you will lose. Okay. How to start investing. You need to make sure that whatever you have to invest, you're willing to lose. I think I just mentioned it. The crypto market has dramatic swings. They can range from 10% to 90%, positive to negatives. The positive, you can even 25x. The negatives, you can go 24x down to almost nothing. And so at the end of my presentation, I'm going to have a set of numbers. I don't know if Deanna is going to be able to share that with you, but yep, she can. So it'll be the very last slide, but we'll talk about that when we get there. No matter what you do and what level, I'm interested, but I'm not committed, meaning that, hey, I've got a super busy life. I'm really interested. I've got some money that I can set aside. The only thing that I ever ask people to do is do a little bit of research. Really, do a little bit of research. When I get into the stock market, yes, I do read charts. I will look up the company if I like them. I liked Ford. I bought Ford at $4.12. I think I've already tripled my money. But I own a Ford F-150. We've now had two of them. So I like the product. When you're talking about cryptocurrencies, right now, if you go onto coinmarketcap.com, you're going to find out that there are over 22,000 offerings. You cannot physically keep up with 22,000 offerings. So you're going to find a sector or find a few coins, anything that you hear, and do your research. Okay? Just a little bit, even if it's scratch and sniff. Because when I say scratch and sniff, maybe you read an article a week. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you're here with us on this particular call, an article a week, you're still ahead of, you're in the top probably 9% of those interested in cryptocurrency. The top 9%. That means there's 91% of the world that may have heard of it. They won't pull the trigger for whatever reason, but you're still ahead of the game. And no matter how old you are, there is an opportunity for you to create an impact for your portfolio, a positive impact. The other thing too is when you do your own research, you then have to follow your own tuition. Some people will gravitate towards, and I'm going to give you categories of cryptocurrency at the moment. There are blue chips. People only gravitate towards the blue chips. Blue chips are the ones that are the coins that are going to be around for mostly almost forever, which will be right now Bitcoin and Ethereum. I know that David talked about XRP. I am starting to collect XRP again. But Bitcoin and Ethereum have two blockchains that have not been hacked and have not been duplicated. So, the blockchain and the platform that Ethereum runs on, no one's been able to make a better platform. Now, by that same token, Ethereum gas fees are really high. But if you're just stacking or investing in the coin and you're interested but have little time for commitment, then those would be the two coins that you would actually be investing in. Okay. And I'll talk about how to invest in them. Other people will like decentralized financing. David dropped a huge amount of information regarding what NFTs are like. NFTs are to the crypto world that like houses are to the banking world. That's one of the best analogies I've ever heard. Crypto lending is the same as us going to a credit card or to a bank and getting an unsecured loan. So your ability to be your own bank and make money and yield interest, I'm going to talk about something. I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. There's a woman on here, Tawana, and another woman, Elysia, that they gave me some hints while I was away. And I just did it because I didn't have any time to do anything else. And I have to take both of them out for, dinner or something because I'm making money on what they talked about. So I want to thank them for that, but also follow your own tuition. You're going to enjoy a certain sector of crypto. So there's blue chips. There's decentralized financing. There are NFTs, non-fungible tokens. And now there are nodes. Okay. Your job is to go look up what all these things mean. But right now, nodes are what's creating for some of us in this group passive income right now, this very moment. And another reason why I enjoyed David and I was following some of his calls was because he does the math on it. And the node that Deanna, Elysia, and Tawana and I are in right now is on Smart Nodes Finance. And because David has done the math on it, while people are stacking up these nodes like crazy, we only stacked up 29 nodes. And we'll see what happens. I'll let you guys know in our own, I'll let you guys know how we do, but we're looking to make over 6 figures. I think 115,000, if we did it properly, 115,000 by the end of this year for a roughly $8,000 to $9,000 investment. So we'll see. But the math was there and I could see it right there. Where do you go for research? I'm going to give you a bunch of websites. I'll speak slowly. If you look at Deanna's video chat screen, you'll be able to see it. The most important thing is get a coach, whether it's a free coach on YouTube, and you be careful because if you get a free coach on YouTube, by the time they give you the calls, the coin or the project has already taken off. Except when you find a guy who is actually really good and doesn't have a lot of followers. So once upon a time, I used to follow this guy named BitBoy. He's kind of a fat white guy. I mean, he's all right. That's the reality. I don't know how to describe him. But early on, when he only had like 4,000 or 5,000 or less than that, I think I was like number 3,000 and something for followers. He gave me Cardano and he gave me Sand. I got in at Sand at less than 4 cents. If you guys know what Sand is a gaming token that's now, I think, back up to 352. I'm not sure. It's somewhere up there. Sand's up there. Anyways, 4 cents to $3.52, just so you understand. So I'm not saying that YouTubers aren't available, but I don't follow BitBoy anymore because he's all about shilling coins for his own gain. And so you'll find a couple people who are honest, but you still have to do your own research. But get a coach. So get a coach. If you don't have enough money right now to join a group, then get a coach who's giving a couple free things here and there. Learn how to fish. And there's something called copy calls. Copy calls are, you could pay for a system, you could pay for a coach, and they will send out calls. The problem with copy calls is that they're very time sensitive. And so you're going to have to teach yourself how to recharge just a little bit. If the copy calls come out and they say, AVAX, buy at, I'm just making up these numbers. Do not quote me. I'm making up numbers. I repeat, I'm making up numbers. So the copy call comes out and it says, hey, AVAX, you're going to buy at $89. The first take profit is going to be 92. The second take profit is going to be 94. The third take profit is going to be whatever it is going to be. Okay, all of that. If you don't get in at 89, you need to be mindful because what goes up must come down. And so if you're trying to get in by the time there's a take profit at 96 and the spread from 89 to 96 is $7, I would probably be really mindful and I would probably wait for a pullback and say that you're too far along to join in that call at that time. I know this might be, for people like speaking French or Swahili, or I guess I'm Chinese and Japanese. It could be like me speaking Chinese and Japanese to y'all, and it won't make any sense. But all I'm saying is that copy calls can only go so far. You do have to put a little bit of elbow grease into it, even if you have high interest and very little commitment. Research sites. All right, if you have your pen and paper, I'm going to call these out right now. CoinMarketCap.com, CoinGecko.com. These two websites give you information on all the coins. They have pages and pages and pages and pages. Oh, Deanna's so sweet. She has put in the websites in the chat. Deanna's she you know
Okay,
what?
so
She's a keeper. I just like that lady. She's a keeper.
one,
All right. The next one is
the one that
Cointelegraph. If someone can mute themselves, please. Somebody with maybe children. Thank you. Cointelegraph.com and medium.com are places where you can get articles, information, and updates happening all around the world. All of these people who write for either Cointelegraph or medium.com, you have to make sure that you understand that everybody that writes something has an end game in mind. And so they may have a slight bias. But this is a good place for you guys to get information. As you develop your skills and you start looking for drops like airdrops and free drops and join ups and test nets and main nets, you're going to go to CoinMarketCal. That's CAL, CoinMarketCal.com. You may drown in all the information in coinmarketcal.com, but as soon as you identify a sector of cryptocurrency that you enjoy, coinmarketcal.com could be your best friend. It is a calendar of all major drops from the smallest of coins to the largest of coins. And then two other things that I use on a regular: Glassnode, NODE.com. This is for advanced research. Now, this is something where you can go a little bit too far, but if David mentions Shiba Inu. I like Shiba Inu way more than I like Dogecoin. Okay. The reason why I like Shiba Inu way more than I like Dogecoin is because Dogecoin was so old and it was created in such a way that it was just to make fun of Bitcoin, that there are 5 major wallets that own the majority of Dogecoin, and they truly move that market. And so you want an example of manipulation in the market? Follow Dogecoin for a little bit. If you can read charts and you can target things like Deanna can, then by all means go ahead and play in Doge if Doge is moving. But I'm saying that the reason why I like Shiba Inu more is because there are more than 5 wallets that own a majority of all Shiba Inu. And you can find that out on Glassnode if you know how to read transactions and wallet addresses and things like that. That's just advanced research. That's beyond the scope of this particular call. And for the most part, beyond a lot of what I do. The last thing that I always check is I check a website called alternativeme.com. Alternativeme.com. And that's the fear and greed index. So here's one thing. With all this information on the websites and in the web space, on the internet, I'm still surprised that retail investors still act the way they do. Institutional investors, banks, and big whales, they count on us acting like sheep. And I'm always fascinated that the majority of retail investors, which is what we are, folks, but we don't have to be sheeple retail investors, but the majority of retail investors, they will, when they get scared, they'll sell. Well, when people get scared and they sell, that's when we should be buying. I mean, it's not a joke. When people say buy low, sell high, this is really I don't know what other sauce that you need, but you buy a house at 10,000, you sell at 35,000. You don't cry about the money that you missed. You celebrate the $25,000 that you made, and you go compound that $25,000 somewhere else. Okay, that has to make sense. But I don't know why people, they have a fear of missing out. They buy Bitcoin at 68,000. Bitcoin drops all the way down to 28,000, and now they've sold it for a huge loss. That makes no sense. In my mind, if you bought it at 68,000, now you just sit on your hands. If it goes all the way down to 28,000, you got an extra $500, $1,000. or you have a $28,000 in your pocket, go and buy yourself a darn coin, but don't sell. But anyways, I use the fear and greed index to take a look at what I'm buying. When fear is high, I buy. When greed is high, I sell. And that mantra for me is going to stop me from having stories of, oh yeah, I had $300,000 in our account and then I watched it ride down to 92,000. Makes no sense. Okay. So the next one is pulling the trigger. And pulling the trigger is like, we really do have to ask ourselves, do I have the time to do this? If I don't have the time to do this, then I'm going to hold. I have $5,000 right now. I have a very busy life. I run 3 companies and ain't nobody got time to be watching the markets. Great. With your 5,000 or whatever money you have, buy Ethereum, buy Bitcoin. Remember what your passwords are. Put that away. Call it a day. Look at it in 9 years, and you'll be calling Deanna saying, "Thank you so much for having this call." Because now, if Bitcoin goes to 100,000 and it only compounds after that, in 9 years you're going to be really happy, even if you only had 1/10 of a Bitcoin. That's holding. There's something else called dollar cost averaging. I call it set it and forget about it until you remember it. Okay. On crypto.com, on coinbase.com, these are super easy websites to use. They're not my favorites, but they are my favorites because they're super easy to use and they're regulated in the US. And as a result of that, you can set up recurring, RECURRING, I think that's how to spell it, recurring buys, where every Wednesday, every Thursday, whatever day you say, or every week, every month, on the very same day you set up, you'll spend $50 or whatever you can afford. It doesn't matter. I really need you guys to understand it doesn't matter how much you put aside. Ishraq and I put aside $5 a day for 4.5 years for Bitcoin. And when I didn't understand what I had as far as Bitcoin, I was spending it. I was, just so you understand a little bit of history, I bought Bitcoin at $676. Yeah, I see people's eyeballs. Yes, I bought Bitcoin at $676. Okay, but I didn't know what I had back then. So if I needed to go on a trip, I'd sell the Bitcoin. If I needed to do something, I'd sell the Bitcoin. I'm going to tell you that $5 a day, whatever Bitcoins I managed to quote unquote waste or spend, I didn't waste it, I spent it. Ishraq and I managed to regain our positions as far as the Bitcoin was concerned because we were on that recurring purchase. It's the same thing for our Ethereum position as well. Okay. So dollar cost averaging, set it, forget about it until you remember it. The last thing that's available is trading, short-term trading, swing trading, and long-term trading. Deanna's going to speak about that, and she's going to work on that with you guys. But whatever you guys decide, I'd like to know, you're on this call, what are you going to do today about it? One last thing, this is just a disclaimer. This is not financial advice. This is just an account of what is my journey, what's Ishraq's journey, what's Deanna's journey, Tawana's journey right now in our crypto journey. This is not financial advice. And, but I do want to make you guys understand that $5 a day changed our lives. So if you only buy $5 a day or $50 a month and you put it in a coin that's going to go far, like maybe Phantom or Gala or something like that, you in 5 years, you could turn around and look at what you did and be really happy about that. But scared money does not birth abundance. Just so you know, once again, scared money does not birth abundance. And for all people, like if you have to, pay your rent, pay your bills, put food on the table, buy your baby diapers, whatever you got to do. And if you only got $5 left, I promise you could do something with that $5. The last thing, real life examples. What if I only have $50 to $100 to invest per month? Dollar cost average, set it and forget it. What if I have $500 to $1,000, but I have no interest in putting in the work? Buy some Bitcoin, buy some Ethereum, call it a day. Call Deanna and myself up and Tawana up in 9 years, and then, take us out to dinner, because we're going to be wanting some good food with the money that you invested with your 500 to 1,000. Okay. What if I have 10,000 plus? Well, then you do all three. You're going to dollar cost average, you're going to hold, and you're going to learn how to trade. If you are on this call, take some action. Small moves can yield big results. I'm going to show you, if you can go to Deanna's page, or where my last slide, I want to give you a real life example of dollar cost averaging for the coin Phantom. Okay. Deanna, can they get there? Can they see it? Almost. Next slide, the last slide. Wait, do you have the Excel little spreadsheet? If you don't, no worries, no worries. I'm going to have people write this down. You know what? Forget about it. It's better if people write it down anyway. You're going to do 4 lines, people, 4 lines, and they're going to be 4 columns. On the first column, first line, you're going to put week 1. In the second column, you're going to put $2.07. In the third column, you're going to put $50. On the fourth column, you're going to put 24.15 coins. Line 2, column 1, week 2. Line 2, column 2, $1.89. Here's a hint. All of column 3 for the 4 lines are going to be $50. Line 2, column 4, 26.45. Line 3, column 1, week 3. Column 2, $2.50. Column 3, $50. Column 4, 23.26. Now, here's a super simple one. Line 4, column 1, 4. Column 2, $2.27. Still $50. And column 4, line 4, 22.03. Yes, that is it. Can everyone see, if everyone moves around on their video, can they scroll to a little Excel spreadsheet? Can you guys see that? Give me some thumbs up if you can see it. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So for 4 weeks, this is what I'm trying to explain to you folks. 4 weeks. This is exactly Deanna. This is what exactly Deanna opened her speech with, or our call with, which she got into Cardano at 24 cents and put in $20. I'm going to show you right now that for 4 weeks, you invested in Phantom at these different prices. These are all fictitious, by the way. I mean, at one point they were real, but right now they're fictitious. You had a trading plan that you were going to sell at $3.75. The trading plan hit, the price point hit. Your total investment amount was $200. The total amount of coins that you gained just for dollar cost averaging, you set it and you forgot about it. Okay. You did a weekly draw of $50. You gained 95.89 coins. Oops, we did a little bit of bad math there. I see it now. But you took 375 and you multiplied it by 95.09. It should be 89. But anyways, you did that and you got $356.59. Your net profit was $156.59. You divide that by $200 and your return on investment is 78%. Now, what Deanna opened her call with was, what if my $20 was $1,000? What if my first $20 was $5,000? I need you guys to understand that this is absolutely 100% possible. I'm not going to